Hi, I'm badboy 220 and I'm here to review 903 Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Part 3, I gotta say, is awesome. That's all I gotta say. It is awesome. You got action, you got fantasy, you got horror, you got a great cast, you got a great story. Instead of the story is basically a group of kids are fighting back against Freddy. Not just one kid, but a group who done themselves to Dream Warriors. Each of them had their own unique powers. I mean, you have Kristen, who can pull people and has like some sort of gymnastics moves. Kincaid, who quite honestly is one of my favorite characters. He has like super strength. He can, because he's very very handy. Um, Guy named Will, who's in the wheelchair, but in Dream World he can step and walk. He has like wizard powers. And then there's Karen, who turns like some sort of weird biker chick with a 80s hairdo and switchblade knives he uses against Freddy. But I'll get to those guys later. The movie starts out with Kristen in her room, just making some sort of popsicle stick building. Her mom comes in and tells her to go to sleep, which of course Kristen does. And we all don't have to go. Someone goes. The main character goes to sleep in these movies. Kristen arrives in the house. Kristen arrives at the house that she built. We see a little girl on the porch. The Christians are like, "Who are you?" The girl just stands there and giggles. She giggles. And then she turns away and just bikes into the house. Kristen follows her. Kristen follows her. That will lead her to the basement where, of course, the boiler is. We see the boiler light up and somebody open the door upstairs in the house. We hear footsteps pounding above the door or floor, whatever. The girl says, "Freddy's home." So Kristen grabs the girl, picks her up, starts running. She runs down like this narrow hallway. It's like some sort of weird quicksand, and what is that? Sorry. What is that? That's like some sort of weird quicksand, like ninja death trap thing. And when Faye pops out all cool and like, ha! He runs in slow motion, he swipes at her, he misses, mind you, but yeah, basically the whole movie Faye tries to get the hell out of these kids. So Christian wakes up, she goes to her bathroom, where apparently she's in another nightmare. The sink hands or something like pop up and like grabs her by the hands like it's like the Faye person to me is laughing at her. The one of the little handles like crosses like slash her wrist. Her mom walks in, she finds out a razor in her hand. They think it's a suicide attempt. Which is actually understandable considering the way we find the razor in her hand. Yeah. So we find out Western Hills, which of course we're on the Western Hills as in favors is Jason with all the people who actually contact with Freddy. Freddy was locked up. We've seen a lot of things that from Freddy vs. Jason in this movie. So we find out one of our main characters, Dr. Neil Goldman, who's one of the head psychiatrists of the kids. He's talking to one of these named Max, played by Lois Fishburne. Yeah, Morpheus. He's played by Mama Jamma Morpheus. Uh huh. The guy's the Matrix. And guess what? He had hair. With hair. We see another doctor called Doctor Sims, who's head of the whole project. And they get called to the emergency place where Christian was. They were trying to sedate Christian. And she throws a temper tantrum. I think they tried. Goldman tries to sedate. She kicks it. I think she kicked him in the groin. He made the nail go flying. So she holds up a scalpel like she actually cuts Max in the arm right around here, and she starts saying the 178 stay up late. Next thing you know, then Nasty returns. Heather Lightning Camp, the first person ever to defeat Freddy. Yeah, apparently she's an intern at the same exact hospital that Freddy's survivors live. Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. Do interview. If not, give me a thumbs up. Actually, if you don't think that's a coincidence, give me a thumb up. If not, if you do think it's a thumb, give me a thumbs down. Anyway, um, so we learned that Nancy has been working on doing research on paranoid nightmares, of course, doing experience with Freddy. We also find out Hypnosil, where Hypnosil came from. It's an experimental drug dream suppressant that Nancy's basically been taking. Later that night, Kristen falls asleep when we find she's in the house again. It's probably actually kind of weird. I mean, Faye turns into a weird giant worm thing, trying to eat Kristen. Like, this is where we find out where Kristen's special dream power is. We find out she's able to pull people into her dreams. Yeah. If you had, I'm saying right now, I'm asking you guys right now. If you had a dream power, let me know what it would be. Well, actually, if I ever had a dream power, it would be like I'd be able to have like every kind of weapon imaginable to take Freddy out. Let's see him come back from that, boy. And we find, and as he gets in the dream, she picks up a long piece of glass with like a mirror. She stabs Faye right in the eye with it. So Faye recognizes her. Then of course she gets scared head for the hills. She knocks herself behind the door. Stuff behind the door, where Kristen pulls him out by thinking it apparently. Then in Nancy's office, we know that Kristen always had that power. Every time she had a bad team, she used to pull her dad in. Well, Nancy finally learns that Faye isn't dead, and he's still killing. Then we have the first group therapy of the whole movie. I think the entire movie is like three groups. There's like three groups in this whole movie. We know about the other characters with Will, who's in a wheelchair because he tried to the guy with the powers. He tried to do a suicide attempt. We see Kid Cade, who's basically the tough guy of the group, but the kind-hearted kid. Jennifer, who's the inspired actress who wants to go to LA after she got Western Hills. Philip. Philip also is played a guy who played. I think he was Harvey to be the Teenage Witch. I'm not quite sure on that. He's also in the movies and our puppet man. He's a puppeteer. He makes marionette dolls, which is very clever how he dies. But I'll get that later. We see Joey, who's a mute. Who's a mute basically for the entire movie. Yeah, the entire movie, the guy's a mute. He didn't say two words. Halfway through the movie, he said two words. Anyway, they go around introducing themselves to her. Kid K throws a little fit. And then and later on, Taryn, Will, and Joey are playing this weird Dungeons and Dragons game, I think. It's lights out, so Max comes in and tucks them all in. Philip falls asleep. But while that's happening, Faye shows up as one marionette doll. He cuts the rope that's holding him. He jumps down. Faye takes his claw and just starts ripping at the guy like this. His arms, his legs, and he uses his tendons as a marionette thing. He walks him out like this up to the top floor, where like this. The guy falls. They think it's a suicide attempt because the guy was an average sleepwalker. The guy was a sleepwalker. Yeah. So Kincaid throws a fit. At the next group, Kincaid throws a temper tantrum. So Sims knocks her out. So Sims has the orders take him to the quiet room. This is like sarcastic confinement. Uh, Neil, who quite frankly I think is Nancy love interest in this whole movie, prescribes hypnosis to the patients. No, I'm gonna. I like this Neil guy. Now I like this Neil guy. He's collective. He knows how to take care of his patients, and of course, when he backs his patient up 100%. He he's also trying to know Nancy a little better. So anyway, that night, Kincaid's rocking in his little cell. Where Jeff was in the TV room. She's flipping through TVs. TV is she convinces Max to let her stay up tonight because she can't. She says she can't handle the nightmares because of. But now, I always wondered something. If she hadn't died in this scene, what would her dream power be? Now, she might be able to change her appearance. She might be able to throw something. So anyway, the TV goes out. She walks out. She just whacking the side. Instead of going and getting help, she started whacking the side of it. Faye's arms pop out. Grab her by the shoulders, pick her up. This is it, Jennifer. You're a big diamond TV. He gives it also one line I've ever heard in my life. He slams her. Of course, they think it's suicide too. How can you do suicide like that? And what she do? Grab the side of the TV, pulls her up, just ram her head right into it. So, Dr. Gordon is starting to lose answers. So Nancy finally, after putting two kids in danger, she finally learns. She finally tells the truth to everyone. So a group, a group, three groups. She finally decides that make sure to tell kids about Freddy. She also tells them that each of them have their own special skills in the dream world. You might remember in the first movie that Glenn said almost says the exact same thing. You know how people do dream skills, dream powers. So they each do match hypnosis with. And of course they. So weird clanky ball things, and at first they think it didn't work. Joey's gonna drink a while. He sees a nurse that he has a crush on. He falls over like an idiot. Then we find out they actually are in the dream because the ball starts flying everywhere. Will stands up. He grabs one of the little metal ball things. He wears his hands over it and turns into a butterfly. Now I actually thought that was a pretty cool power to have. I mean, you're a wizard in the dream world. You can take fate like that. Sorry. We found Kristen also has another power. She can do gymnastics, which I never thought that was fair. How come Kristen gets to have two powers, whereas only has one? Kincaid picks up a chair and starts bending it. It's a real irritating noise. Taryn turns like some real weird biker chick with switchblades. Joey, on the other hand, gets sucked into by Freddy, who's posed as a nurse. He's kissing her, which is kind of weird on my end. I think Freddy has to think for guys. That's what a lot of people say. Freddy has to think for guys because remember the second move, my last review, I said how he had the coach just whipping him butt. He had the coach butt. That guy started whipping him with a towel. Anyway, Joey always she's some sort of tongue, so something wraps around Joey's hands and mess holds to the bed. That face is the funniest thing ever. What's about Joey? Tongue tied. So apparently they all wake up, but Joey's in a coma. He wake um Nancy and Neil get fired. Then some weird nurse shows up, a nun, same nun who's been popping up in the entire movie. Um, she tells Gordon that about Freddy's past, that how his mother was molested by crazy inmates at the asylum in the '60s, in the '40s. How she was locked in there during the holidays, and when they found out she was pregnant with Freddy, the son of 1,000 maniacs, which is actually kind of weird. I mean, how are they gonna do that? I'm not even gonna get into that. Um, she also said you gotta let the unholy spirit to rest, whatever the hell that means. Now, Nancy decides to go in, but at first Neil has to tell her they need to know where the remains are. Only one person knows who those are. And that's a girl. That's Donald Thompson, played by that's very legendary John Saxon, who returns. Apparently, after the I actually looked this up actually. Well, apparently hit rock bottom after the whole thing the first time. So Nancy tries to get him to help her, but he can't blows her. He blows her off. They get called. They get called from the hospital where Taryn tells Gordon that Kristen was put in the quiet room, that because he was freaking out. After Nancy left, Gordon grabs Nancy's dad like this, picks her up and like slams him against the wall and yells at him a little bit. And Nancy's able to convince Max to let her see the other kids, and then do one last group together. They are. She tells them that it's as dangerous as it gets. Kincaid, Taryn, and Will are all in. So they all go in. They all. Krista falls asleep. She pulls them all in. Of course, the reunion is the last one. Gets very sliced into his way through the padded room, and they all get separated. Um, Krista finds herself at the beginning of the movie, where her dad is, her mom is, and we see him. We see it was a dream mom, of course. We see Freddy come in and just like slice the chick's head off. He takes the Krista who flips right over him with a little gymnastics when she jumps through a window. This whole time she's still screaming for Nancy. And then we see Taryn. She's in some sort of alley or something. She's looking around. She's just familiar. Then she turns around and see Freddy and Taryn on a big hole in the wall. Freddy's there, so Taryn whips out her little pocket knife, switchblade. She starts fighting him, which she actually does pretty good. Until Freddy turns his hands like syringes for heroin, sticks him right in her arm. You can see the veins and stuff coming out of her arm, up to her brain. She got overdosed of heroin. Which was actually kind of funny, if I might add. Not for those who are addicted to heroin, but was actually kind of funny. I mean, the Jake's worst fear is drugs. That's a good message for kids. Never use drugs, or some psycho person's gonna come in your dreams and use them to kill you. Will, on the other hand, doesn't just point blank. Will's in some sort of tunnel. Freddy has some sort of mechanical wheelchair coming at him. It runs him over his leg. He pops up. He blasts him with his powers, and then he proceeds to do the dumbest thing in the history of horror movies. He blasts Freddy. Instead of running away, he runs at him. Like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna, I'm gonna get you. Then Freddy grabs him by the collar, picks him up, and just stabs him. Point blank, just stabs the poor kid. Once again, we see point blank, like that, and then once again we see Chris. Once again, we see Kristen, who who's reunited with Nancy and some sort of weird satanic web. Kate can pop it through the just pop it through the wall and starts taunting Faye like a child. So that door appears. They open it and they find. Meanwhile, in the real world, Gordon and Nancy's dad finally tells Gordon where the bones are hidden. They go to a junkyard, which comes again in the next movie, but I'll continue what I want right now. He tells him that it was a Cadillac, which not many people know this, but the Cadillac actually belonged to Glenn from the first movie. You might remember that. You might not know. So they pop over the trunk and they decide to get buried. Meanwhile, Nancy, Kristen, and Kay find Joe suspended like some sort of weird lava pit. And they proceed to try to kick Faye's ass. Nancy's trying to pull Joey up after Faye releases him. Kristen dips this sort of judo from and drop kicks him. Kay grabs Nancy like this and pulls her up. Then he grabs a pipe and starts whacking Freddy with it. Because that just pisses Freddy off. He knocks him away, grabs Kay by the throat, picks him up. Nancy grabs like a spike or something, jams it right into face. He just stands there and laughs and he pulls it out. He went to share where we see the faces of his victims on his chest, which is actually pretty gross. Then, like, for some strange reason, Faye can sense what's going on. He does instead of killing him, he drops Kincaid, disappears. While Gordon and Thompson are trying to, do the bone, bury the bone. Faye possesses the bones. For some reason, Thompson gets some sort of judo move. But then finally, he feels like his daughter's not saying. He picks up like a pipe or something, starts swinging at him. Faye blocks and stabs the guy, picks him up and hucks him like 20 feet into a Cadillac. Gordon picks up like a tire and something. So blocking, he picks up the shovel. Faye slaps him across the chest, knocks him into the grave where he's supposed to be. So I'd bury him alive. Which is actually kind of funny. I mean, Faye basically just pwned those two guys. And then start burying the guy. Well, anyway, Joey, Kristen, Nancy, and Kincaid all find some sort of weird room full of mirrors when Faye shows up again in the mirror. He's like, nah, 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 you can't get out, nah, 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 nah. He starts popping out of the mirror, starts grabbing each one. Joey's like in the corner, crying like a little wuss. And then he screams at the top of his lungs. No! And it breaks all the mirrors. It breaks like all the mirrors. And then they think it's over. They think Joey did so good that he actually broke the mirror. Yeah. For some strange reason, Nancy's dad keeps flying out of nowhere, a big ball of light. He says he forgives Nancy. Like, do you really think your dad, who has no idea how this all works, will be able to do that? But nah, guess what? Freddy's back, bitch. He takes his car and jams it right into the side. Christian tries to jump, but he backhands her. He backhands her. So she's about to kill Kristen. Then he grabs his car and actually able to get him with his own gut. Neil wakes up after taking a little nap. He starts dumping the holy water on Faye's bones, which somehow hurts Faye in the dream world. I'm still not quite sure on that. And Faye starts spinning around like Wonder Woman. He starts going and spinning around like Wonder Woman. It blows up. Yeah, he blows up. He got put to rest. He got consecrated. He got buried. And he got holy water dumped all over him. Was he a vampire? Well, Nancy didn't survive this time. Her injuries were too severe. She actually died in Kristen's arms. that Kristen, of course, who thought Nancy the big sister. During the funeral, we see that now one more time. So Gordon, who actually follows the nun, and we find out one very important thing. It's Mary Helena, who turns out to be Amanda Kruger. Well, we find out later on that Amanda wanted to help stop Faye once and for all. That's why she tried to help him. And he takes the news surprisingly well. Then the final scene we see going to sleep in his room with that little model of the house, and the light turns on, and then it ends. And the end theme song is actually people with Dawkins singing Dream Warriors. Now, I have to give Dream Warriors, quite frankly, a 10 out of 10. Now, this is just me. This is my opinion here. And we got an all-star cast. You got great actors. You got a great storyline, and you have, quite frankly, one of the best actors known to man, John Saxon. Now, I hope you bear with me for the rest of my review coming sometime later on. I want to thank you all for watching this review, and if you'd like me to review anything else, just send me a comment and let me know.